Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chantel Smith. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Inclusive Communities in the Honors College at University of Maryland. And we want to just say congratulations again on your acceptance to UMD, and we're so excited that we have you here. So this week, we'll be offering you an opportunity to hear from the staff and students who represent our 8 unique programs. We hope that this helps you as you determine which of the programs most interest you so that you can complete your program preferencing form by the deadline of February 19th. Don't forget that. So in tonight's session, we'll be focusing on our Honors Humanities and Design, Cultures, and Creativity programs. While we encourage you to send in your questions through the chat, we kindly ask that you hold them until the end, since there's a chance that the questions may be addressed during the presentation. And then we'll open it up for Q&A once the presentation is over. So without further ado, to kick things off, I'll go ahead and pass the mic over so you can hear more about Honors Humanities.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our info session for Honors Humanities. My name is Dr. Ontiveros. I am an associate professor of English at the University of Maryland, and I'm also the director of Honors Humanities. I've directed Honors Humanities. This is my 4th year now, and it's a job that I deeply love because I work with really talented, hardworking students and students who are really well-rounded, who often have backgrounds in STEM fields and are also artists, social scientists, creators of different kinds, people interested in everything from law to music and more. So it's really great to have you all in this space. I'm going to put on my screen in just a moment here a PowerPoint that's going to give you a little bit of information about the program. And then it'll be about 10 minutes or so. We'll have the bulk of our time, though, available for you to ask questions, for you to hear from current students in the program about their experience, things like that. Are you able to see my PowerPoint slide screen here? Did I see? Okay, we're good. All right. All right. So first of all, let me say congratulations on your admission to the University of Maryland and to the Honors College. That is a huge, huge deal. Maryland has really become, over my time here on campus, a very selective university and the flagship university of our state. And so I hope as you are sitting here tonight, you're feeling excited, maybe you're feeling a little nervous, but also I hope you're feeling really proud of where the work you've done has brought you. The Honors Humanities program is a 2-year program, so it's for freshmen and sophomores at the University of Maryland that offers students close engagement with art, film, history, ideas, and more. And we kind of think of the program as giving you the experience of a small liberal arts college, tight-knit community, real commitment to the arts and humanities at a large research university. And so we help you get a liberal arts education to help you be successful in your career and also in life. Some of the things that are important about who we are as a program, we have a diversity of people and majors. Each year we admit around 60 to 65 students. Most of the students in Honors Humanities are not arts and humanities majors. We have a lot of engineers, we have a lot of computer scientists, we have a lot of psychology majors, we have a lot of education majors, we have a lot of business majors. What draws them to Honors Humanities is they want a well-rounded undergraduate experience, to be able to have both the STEM side of their brain and the arts and humanities. Or if you are somebody planning to major in arts and humanities, we're here for you too. We have students who major in women's studies, in philosophy, in English, all kinds of things. And also you will meet in this program people from very diverse backgrounds, from all over the state, the world, people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds, language backgrounds, class backgrounds. We have a really diverse community. The community is often described as being a family. We're one of the smaller honors programs, and students live together, especially their first year, in the same dorm. And so you really will form close bonds. In fact, some of your closest friendships in all of college will likely come out of your experience being a part of Honors Humanities, living in Anne Arundel, and having the experiences that you get to have as part of our program. We work very hard to be a program that lets you get to know the DC area. We do different kinds of trips to DC, to Baltimore, other places. We go to New York, sophomores do. So we try to have a perspective that's both local, that's grounded in Maryland, but that also really is looking at the globe. In terms of what we do, we in Honors Humanities help you develop skills that matter. Sometimes students and their families are curious about Honors Humanities, but they are reluctant to preference Honors Humanities because they worry that it may not set them up as well as other programs for success in their career. And I want to tell you, it's kind of the secret that I like to give at this thing. Employers, graduate schools, medical schools, law schools, internships love people who have well-rounded college experiences and not just show an expertise in a particular area like computer science, but also show a curiosity about something like film or about law. We teach a lot of critical thinking, critical writing, critical reading skills, communication skills, the ability to make connections across different disciplines. You will learn things in Honors Humanities that will very directly translate into your success in college and after that. But we also try to help you foster creativity and curiosity. College is more than just about helping you get a job. That is an important part of it, but it's also about helping you live a happy life, helping you find out what matters to you most. What are your values? What do you love? What are you committed to? And so we try to help you foster creativity and curiosity about the world. Building lifelong relationships, as I said earlier, you'll make some of your closest friendships, closest relationships in and through Honors Humanities. At the end of the Honors Humanities experience, in the spring of the sophomore year, students work together to create a keystone project, which we call a passion project. It's you working for a semester on a project that is ambitious, that's creative, that comes from you, and that you really love and accomplishes some important goal for you. So that the Keystone experience is kind of the culmination of your time in the program. And you can see a photo here of a student from the past sharing his Keystone project at the Keystone presentation, which is a thing that happens at the end of your experience. Students live in mostly Anne Arundel Hall. There's two halls that you see here, Anne Arundel Hall and Queen Anne's. Some sophomores live in Queen Anne's if they choose, but for the most part, the real home of Honors Humanities is in Anne Arundel. We prioritize things such that incoming freshmen are prioritized for Anne Arundel Hall. We try to set it up so that all freshmen who want to live on campus and who want to live in Anne Arundel can live in the building together on the second, third, and fourth floors of this beautiful building, which is really conveniently located on campus. It has in the lounge of Anne Arundel Hall, there is the kind of community space that students spend time in together, has a piano, has a TV, there's a kitchen down there. And then it's just a space, and there's a 24-hour study room where we offer free printing, free coffee, snacks often to students. This will be a place where you would really spend a lot of time your first 2 years to get a full living learning experience. When you come in as a freshman in year one, you would most students take Honors Humanities 105 in the fall. That's a class I teach that gives kind of an overview of what are the arts and humanities, why do they matter, what is their history, where are they going. In spring of your freshman year, you take a class called Arts and Humanities in Practice, which is all about kind of applying the arts and humanities to activism, to the workplace, to the pursuit of a good life, different areas. In year 2, in 205, Honors Humanities students take a seminar. These are small classes of about 15 students. There's usually each fall semester about 5 classes that sophomores get to choose from on topics ranging from things like dance in the world to the history of oil in the Nigerian and Mississippi deltas to haiku to a lot of different topics. And then in spring of sophomore year, students take the class I mentioned, the Keystone Project. The last piece of the Honors Humanities citation, you can choose this 5th element is either a 3-credit internship related to the arts and humanities, a 300 level or 400 level arts and humanities course, or you can study abroad. And many of our students do study abroad at places everywhere from Taiwan to Peru to Cuba to South Africa, Ghana, places all around the world. Why preference Honors Humanities? I love this quote from Steve Jobs, who created these devices that many of us have in our pockets. He says, it's technology married with liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the results that make our hearts sing. And I love telling students the story of Steve Jobs, the class that he took in college that mattered most to him and mattered most to Apple products was not a computer science 301 class. It was his calligraphy class that he took from the Japanese department at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. And what that class taught him was the beauty of elegant design, of really kind of crisp design. And that's how we get the Mac computer, how we get the iPhone. You never know what kind of great thing is going to come out of an arts and humanities experience. We really pride ourselves on affording students, as I mentioned earlier, a really well-rounded education, giving you tools that will help you succeed in your career and also just to help you live a good life, a happy life, a fulfilled life, a life of service to others. You might know that the workforce is changing dramatically right now. The tech world 10 years ago was kind of where a lot of job growth was predicted to be. You probably have heard that there are pretty massive layoffs happening in the tech world right now. And a lot of what people are looking for in industries that are shrinking are the kind of, they get called soft skills that a program like Honors Humanities really emphasizes: the ability to identify with other points of views, empathy, to communicate clearly, to think critically, to be a problem solver. These are all things that we specialize in. And as part of that, it really helps you get an edge in graduate applications too. So that's a little bit about why preference us. If you want to get in touch, we have lots of ways. Our Instagram handle is at UMDHH. And we have social media interns who post there frequently. That's a great place to go to kind of get a sense of the student's perspective of what it's like to be part of Honors Humanities. We have Facebook accounts and what used to be called Twitter. I guess it's called X now, but we don't really keep those as active. So really Instagram is where you want to be. You can see my email address there, rjo@umd.edu. And then the associate director, her email address, Dr. Hamoud, is also there. Feel free to send us an email if you have questions you want to ask us or find out more about the program. We are really honored that you're here this evening. So happy that you're admitted to the University of Maryland, and eager to, have communication with you about what it might look like to join our program. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And we are joined by a handful of students from Honors Humanities. These are our honors ambassadors. And I am guessing that those of you who are here as newly admitted students really want to hear from other students, not from me. So they're here to answer questions, to talk about their experience, and to let you a little bit know what it's like to be an Honors Humanities student. Chantel, how would you like to do this? Should we have each Honors Ambassador introduce themselves and say a word and then do questions, or questions first?
Sure, yeah, let's have the ambassadors introduce themselves, and folks that are attending right now, feel free to start putting your questions in the chat.
Why don't we?
Sorry, if the Q&A is available, yes, I see someone put questions in the Q&A instead of the chat. The Q&A makes it easier to track questions and answers.
I see, yeah. Why don't we start with, I see her on my screen next. How about Eleanor? Why don't you start?
Hi, my name is Eleanor Kim. I'm a freshman in Honors Humanities this year, and I'm a major in philosophy, politics, and econ, so PPE, and I'm planning to double in finance. Yeah.
Kayla?
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Kellner. I'm a senior psychology and human development double major. With Honors Humanities, I've been involved as a social media intern, been on the Honors Humanities Council, and I have been teacher's assistant for the Keystone course twice. So I feel like I can answer questions related to involvement within Honors Humanities and any other questions you may have.
And how about Ariana?
Hi everyone, my name's Ariana Brittingham. I am a obviously honors humanities student currently. I major in English, and I am also interning for the Keystone Symposium. So I also know some things that you can do in order to like get involved. But yeah, thank you.
And let's see, Maya.
Hi, my name is Maya Djorkovic. I use she, her pronouns. I am also a freshman in Honors Humanities. I'm a public policy and government and politics dual degree student.
And then I think I see Sarah.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a sophomore in HoHum, and I am double majoring in animal science and psychology.
Wonderful. Okay, let's see. We have some questions in the Q&A. And I'm wondering how we should handle responding to these. I want to make sure that we get to hear from the honors ambassadors, but are also able to answer questions folks have. So why don't we start with this question from Mira that was just posted a moment ago. What's the most impactful experience you've had in the Honors Humanities College that you wouldn't have experienced elsewhere?
For me, a really impactful experience that I've had in Honors Humanities has definitely been the Keystone Project, which is the project you do your second semester of your spring or of your sophomore year typically. Getting to see everyone else's projects as well as working on a passion project of mine that was somewhat related to my major, but also could expand to be something that you don't typically learn in your courses. It's just truly a passion project of whatever you want to pursue and want to learn more about. Has been really impactful and allowed me to build my knowledge in ways that you can't always do in the traditional classroom. And then learning from other students about their Keystone process and their experience. To do a lot of peer review. So getting to experience the process with other students at the same time is really impactful, and you get to just see the diversity of ideas and thought between different students within the same honors program.
I think for me, my most impactful experience was in my second semester freshman HoHum class, where we learned about environmental racism. That was really eye-opening to me because I didn't know about the intersections, which has to do with, putting water treatment plants or like factories or landfills in areas filled with people of color as opposed to people who are white, because people of color are less likely to speak up, and just the level of overlap between that was super eye-opening to me.
Oh, for me, I would say like the most impactful experience has just been like, like obviously all the things that we do kind of outside of the classroom, on Honors Humanities. I definitely will say that that's kind of brought me closer to a lot of, other students in this program. One thing that also like stands out the most is like their pumpkin patch trip that we did last semester. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it because it was just kind of like me and friends kind of just like walking around and exploring this other side of like I've never been, that was my first time going to a pumpkin patch, so it was like, a whole new experience, and being able to kind of take that in with fellow ho-hummers, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I would say my most impactful experience, again, I'm a freshman, so haven't had time for, or haven't gotten to the Keystone yet, or any of those really transformative moments. But I would say mine were definitely completing the Ho Hum Out There assignments, which is part of an integration in our classes, where you have an assignment to go off campus for 2 of 3 activities, and then stay on campus for one activity that has something to do with the humanities. So I personally went to a talk on campus by the artist known as Japanese Breakfast, and it was really fantastic talk, and probably the most famous person I've ever been that close to. And it was definitely something that I would not have done on my own, but traveling, going to the student union with my fellow ho-hummers like a month into classes was definitely a very memorable moment, and the talk was also super awesome.
To kind of add on to both Maya and Ariana, as Dr. O mentioned, we're really a tight-knit community, and we all live together. So whenever you go somewhere, you always see a friendly face, and it's been really great to get to know so many creative people within the program. And there's so many diverse opinions, interests, and talents that it's just been really amazing to get to know everybody.
We have a lot of fun with, and really seek to get input from students. We have a student council. They are sophomores that help plan events for freshmen and sophomores. Ariana mentioned the pumpkin patch is one thing that we do every fall. Sophomores in their spring semester, we take a weekend trip to New York. And then there's lots of other things that happen. We organized recently a trip to Topgolf, and a bunch of students went to Topgolf. Some of you might know about this. We take trips down to see the Smithsonian museums in DC, or go up to Baltimore to see the Baltimore Museum of Art. And those kinds of outside the classroom experiences not only help you learn and get to know the area, but sort of as all of our honors ambassador students were saying, they really help you connect with other people in your class, in your freshman or sophomore class, and build these really cool bonds together. In addition to like the 3 a.m. conversations that happen, I don't know these firsthand, but I know students, I hear words, students, we have this great cupola at the top of Anne Arundel Hall where students hang out, or in the lounge. And as college students do, they hang out together at 2 a.m. and talk about the meaning of life, or a TikTok trend, or whatever it is. I see a question. Somebody asked about study abroad. We are putting together our own Honors Humanities Study Abroad program that we're hoping to launch in summer of 2025. So this would be something that would be available to you if we're able to get it through. But the University of Maryland has a really robust abroad program. I think there's something like 120 program or countries that you can travel to through the University of Maryland Study Abroad office. And this is a tip that applies for wherever you choose to go to college, University of Maryland or somewhere else. There are very few times in your life where you will be able to have an experience to live abroad for an extended period of time on the cheap, relatively speaking, as much as there are as during college, because most study abroad programs are either the same price as your semester's tuition and room and board would be, or sometimes even a little bit less. That can depend on the destination and a lot of other things. And of course, it depends on financial aid and other factors. But college is a great time to study abroad and live abroad, especially to learn another language, or math, or develop a language you already speak. And somebody else asked a question about study abroad and engineering. Yes, this is Juliet's question. If you study abroad for engineering on your tight engineering time to degree, then that would count as your 5th Honors Humanities requirement as well. So you could kind of do, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Let's see. Mika, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, asked a question about examples of Keystone projects. And I'm going to kind of put Sarah on the spot here, actually. Sarah's a sophomore, so she's just getting started with a Keystone project. But I wonder, Sarah, if maybe you'd say something about what you're thinking about for your project, or share friends of yours, you know what they're thinking about. What are some kinds of things you all are planning?
Sure. So this is a little frightening because I haven't done much with it, but I'm pretty passionate about pets and the way pets are mistreated and abused, especially in pet stores, and that whole process, and a lot of people not knowing how to take care of them. So what I'm thinking about is sort of combination of like service-based and art-based. So I would design different infographics for the care of different animals marketed towards both adults and children, talking about just everything that you would need to know when adopting a pet. And hopefully I would like to work with different organizations, maybe like animal welfare organizations, to be able to distribute these infographics. And then some of my friends, what their projects are. My roommate, she actually changed her project a couple times, so I'm going to go with an old version because that's the only one I remember. But she was pretty interested in how the U.S. often dumps trash in other countries, in third world countries, to get rid of our trash and just give it to someone else. So what she's been doing is collecting not gross trash, and she's going to use that to create different sculptures out of it. So there's like a whole bag of trash behind me in her closet right now. And I guess one more, my friend Maddie, she's an education major, so she's pretty interested in diversity in the classroom, specifically with children's stories that are being told. So she's doing an art approach, looking at newer stories that are being presented in children's classrooms that have more diversity. So she wants to kind of design puppets and like a puppet theater to be able to tell the stories in a more interactive way for kids.
Thanks, Sarah. The Keystone projects broadly tend to fall into 4 buckets: service projects, education projects, creative projects, and research projects. And you can see Sarah's kind of imagining for herself with a project around animal care and cruelty, a service project. Kayla, you've been both an undergraduate TA and a Keystone person yourself. Do you want to share maybe 1 or 2 project types that have stood out to you?
Yeah, so my project personally was a documentary on intergenerational communication and African American families and how that can impact mental health. And some projects I've seen that have really stood out to me have been some of the film projects, just because they tend to have a lot of emotion behind them, and you can really, they're telling a really meaningful story to that person who created it. So I've enjoyed seeing those. Other students have done podcasts on being a first generation student, or being a student at a PWI, predominantly white institution. Research essays on parasocial relationships with YouTubers I thought was really interesting. And there's topics on such as graffiti. Someone this semester I know is doing a project on graffiti and the role that that plays in societies. So there's a lot of freedom for what you can explore, and it's really up to you to kind of drive that project.
Yeah, thanks. One student asked about film, and I think Kayla gave an answer. Yes, you can do film as a type of Keystone. Matthew asked if there's an advisor for the Keystone project, your instructor, is one of your advisors. The Keystone class often has undergraduate TAs like Kayla or others. They are another advisor. And then the project also requires you to find a mentor. So let's say you wanted to do a project that was about the impact of TikTok on presidential elections. You would need to find a kind of informal advisor to help you with that project. So it could be a political science professor, it could be a TikTok influencer whose kind of focus is on politics or activism. But yes, there is not just one, but usually more than one advisor for the Keystone Project. Lexi asked a question, what kind of electives or other classes do you take outside of the program and your majors? This seems like a good one to pitch maybe to some of the students. Maybe Ariana can get us started.
Yeah, so I'm a freshman, so I'm kind of like exploring and like trying new things. I've an origami club, which has been cool. I've also there's an interest meeting coming up lately, but it's basically to become an editor for the stylus UMD like stylus paper shell review thing that I was trying to work on. Obviously, honors ambassador I've been trying to get involved in, but I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. I just have to do them. Yeah.
I can also pop in. Yeah, like Ariana said, there's so many things to do outside the classroom. It can almost seem overwhelming, but definitely you do find your path after doing a lot of exploration, especially first semester. It's like trying out a million different things. As far as classes I'm in, I actually did an elective last semester. I came in as a public policy major, which if anyone's interested in that, I would also love to talk to you guys about at some other time, but definitely a great major at the school. And I took a class called Government 201. It involved statistical analysis and survey taking in relation to government concepts. And I actually ended up adding a double major in government on the Bachelor's of Science track, so I could continue exploring that data science route with government and the intersection of that with public policy. So even just as a freshman, I was able to take an elective and allow that to kind of impact what I'm doing now in the future. And I also got accepted to TA 201, be a teaching assistant for 201 this semester. So thank you, Ariana. So I am also getting class credit for being a teaching assistant in that class. So it's been a really great experience so far, even just as a freshman, to kind of broaden my horizons in terms of what I'm interested in.
If
Yeah,
we have
I would
time.
say, oh, you can go ahead. I was gonna say, I have had space for only a couple electives being a double major. But I've taken a class on disability in society, as well as I totally forgot what the other class was. But a lot of majors give you freedom as to what classes you can take and different topics within that major. So if you're really interested in one section or subsection of your discipline, you definitely can dive into that by taking certain electives um, within your major. Oh, I've taken 2 coding classes as a psychology major, and they have been very interesting and I've loved them, and it's something that I want to continue to learn. So there's a lot of freedom to take electives. You can take electives across almost any department if there's no prerequisites. And if there are prerequisites, you can take the prerequisites and then be able to sign up for that class if that's something you're really passionate about.
I signed up for an art history class last semester, and I had no experience in art history or just art in general, like visual art. And I was nervous for it, but it ended up being one of my favorite classes. And I found that it really taught me how to think critically and piece together the information that I had, and then try to fit everything and analyze things visually, which I feel like is a great skill to have. And I saw that those skills translated to my other classes in business and stuff like that. And so I think that's really indicative of how valuable that studying humanities is.
I see Matthew Goodman has a question. What are the 5 classes students can choose from sophomore year? Every year in the fall, we send out a call to faculty across the University of Maryland campus to basically pitch us a class, and we select the ones that are best and that are the best fit for our students. And those are the classes that get run, which is a way of saying it changes from fall to fall. But a handful of the classes that have been taught recently, there's a very popular class called Dance in the World that's taught by a professor from the Theater, Dance, Performance Studies department that looks at different dance traditions from all across the globe. Guest speakers come in, sometimes in person, sometimes they Zoom in from everywhere from South Korea to Cambodia to Cameroon to Mexico. And also the class includes a dance studio element. So like students are actually dancing as part of the learning process. Some of the other classes, there was a class this last fall called Digital Narratives, Representation and Resistance, which is about how different youth cultures use TikTok, Instagram, other social media to create activist communities, to mobilize and organize around different issues, to create kind of communities of care. So that was another class that happened this past semester. We had a class this past semester on environmental humanities. There was a history class taught by a guest professor from Nigeria and Germany who was teaching a class that compared the Nigerian Delta and the Mississippi Delta and the history of oil. What do they call that? Extraction from those 2 deltas and how it shaped the economies and also contributed to racial injustice in those 2 regions. So those are a handful of them, but again, they change from year to year, depending on classes that kind of get pitched to us. Kayla asks a question, do you have to do your work, Keystone Project alone or with other students? The short answer is you do the project alone. It is a passion project that is driven by your own interests and is completed by you. Many students do projects. For example, we had a project 2 years ago that was about hair, the history and experiences of Black women and hair. And she, for her documentary, she did a documentary, had interviews that she did with other students in the class. So that's an example of how other students can become part of your Keystone project. But in the main, it's kind of a project that's I guess you would say a solo project. So I hope that answers that question, Kayla. I wonder if students can say something about Anne Arundel. Anne Arundel Hall is the star of Honors Humanities in many ways. It is the heart. It's kind of the living room. It's the heart of the program. And I just wanted to give a chance for our ambassadors here to kind of say something about your experience in Anne Arundel. You can share a story if you want. Just tell students a little bit of what they can expect out of our home.
Well, I can start off. I will say that when hunting for a roommate, I know some of you guys may have seen like the UMD 2028 page and people are like open for roommate. That's how I found my wonderful roommate who happens to be on this call. That's Eleanor. She's actually in our dorm room right now and I'm outside. But I will say that being in Honors Humanities does help knowing what community you're going to enter into, because I knew I needed a roommate who was also in Honors Humanities. And so I was really confident going into that because I knew me and my roommate would share a class and that me and pretty much everyone else on the hall would also share a class. So there is a really great bonding experience that goes with that. And you guys get to see each other in a professional and like an academic setting. And then you also get to hang out and listen to people play the piano in the basement, which there's so many people here who are incredible at the piano. I swear, like another one pops up every single day. And I'm like, I didn't know you could play the piano. And suddenly like we're hearing it all throughout the building. And then another great thing is that our discussion sections for our classes are also in the basement of Anne Arundel in our classroom down there. So it definitely just has a very homey feel. And it's also the headquarters for like the Honors College itself, which is very cool and helps us to stay connected as well to like the other honors community, the other living learning programs in the Honors College.
I personally really love how homey Anne Arundel is. Like just looking at it from the outside, it looks so pretty. And, you know, comparing it with other dorms, there are some newer ones like Pyeongchang and Johnson Woodall, which are really nice dorms, but they feel like a hotel when I go in there and like visit my friends. They don't feel very homey. Whereas Anne Arundel, it's a little bit older and it's nice, not too old. It's not like the crusty dorms with no air conditioning. It's still a very nice building. But there's just a really good vibe here. And then there are a lot of activities that happen. I've definitely painted a lot of pumpkins here. And then also the honors program sometimes does ice cream socials. And since Anne Arundel is the building for the honors program, they're always at Anne Arundel, which is really convenient when you want to grab some ice cream.
Yeah, also the basement just plays a really big part in like the Anne Arundel experience. I know coming into this, a lot of like sophomores were telling me like the basement is going to be where you know, meet people and you know, just kind of interact and stuff. And it's literally so true. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've like been down there like up until like 4 a.m. just like just laughing and just talking with friends. It's literally like really great. Not the most responsible thing to do, but you know, we're like it's part of like the college experience, is what we tell ourselves. Um, but yeah, like there's the kitchen as well. I know like someone made like these really good like cheesecake bars that like offered to like the entire like Anne Arundel like ho hum community, which was really nice. So yeah, it's just very like tight knit. You like Dr. O said, you meet like some of your closest friends in this program. It's really, really cool. And Anne Arundel is like the start of that. Yeah.
I agree that the Anne Arundel basement definitely changed my college experience just by being able to meet so many other people in ho-hum. And we would have bachelor nights, we had a Halloween party, we had karaoke night, we would just play right on the whiteboard and draw stuff and do Family Feud and all these different things. So there's a lot you can do down there, and you can have a lot of fun with the people who can really make your college experience something very meaningful for you.
Thanks for sharing that. I uh, like the students, I have deep fondness for Anne Arundel Hall. And so I feel free to reach out to us if you have more questions about housing. Let's see. So Gretchen asked a question. The program is 2 years, correct? Are there any association with the program in years 3 and 4? Yes, the program is 2 years. Some students will actually complete that 5th element of the program, a 300, 400 level RHU class or study abroad or an internship. Some will do it the junior year, so they're kind of technically finishing at their 3rd year. But the real core of the program, where you're doing the curriculum and living together in Anne Arundel or with other ho-hummers, is the 2 years. For years 3 and 4, students get to stay involved with being a UTA, for example. So Kayla is a senior, still involved with the program. Once an Honors Humanities student, always an Honors Humanities student. So we have lots of great guest speakers come through. We have, and you're always invited to those events. And we also have different kind of professional mentorship events that will happen from time to time. We'll bring in alumni working in different industries. And juniors and seniors are invited and encouraged to go to those as well. So yes, there are opportunities to stay associated with the program in years 3 and 4. You also will continue to have swipe access to Anne Arundel Hall in your 3rd and 4th year, which means you can come in and use the study lounge. You can get free printing, a free cup of coffee. You know, that's not like $1 million, but I think it's a cool thing. Mira asked a really good question, and it's a difficult question in the sense that it's personal for everybody, right? There's lots of factors that go into the decision of where you're going to go to college, whether or not you want to be in an honors program. If you do want to be in an honors program, which one do you want to be in? And so Mira asked a question that, like I said, is really good, and that is, reflecting on your experiences, do you think that choosing honors college made you miss out on other college opportunities? I'll pitch that to our current honors students and let you field it.
Personally, I really don't feel like I missed out on any opportunities. I think at most, maybe like one of a class I wanted to take conflicted with ho-hum, which that'll happen with anything. But I also like, people would tell me when I was trying to choose a college, like, you'll be happy wherever you go. And I feel like that's true in this situation too. I think there's definitely something that you can enjoy in any honors college. And like, I don't feel like I've missed out on anything because I don't really know what the other honors colleges have to offer, but I really love what ho-hum has to offer.
I would say for me, I honestly feel like it added a lot to my college experience. And one thing that really made ho-hum so valuable for me was having those close connections with other people in ho-hum at such a large university. So you come in and the first day of classes or your first day of ho-hum or even move-in day, you're already making connections with people. You know, you'll have a class with them. You're going to see them for the next 2 years and engage with them in some manner. So it helps you build those relationships. And that was very useful for me, especially coming in during COVID. I was so worried about making friends, and I made a lot of great relationships through Honors Humanities.
Yeah, I remember doing the preference form like very vividly. I feel like this was all so recent. So I think that I was between personally for my choices in living learning program was honors global communities, honors humanities, and university honors. So those were like my top three that I like preferenced. I preferencing honors humanities first, which is what I ended up doing. I felt that university honors, while it did offer a really great dorm and location on North Campus, the dorms there are the newest dorms on campus. Again, like someone else said, the hotel feel was definitely very apparent in those dorms, which fits some people, but for me, it was not exactly what I was looking for. And university honors is also like very, very big. It's the biggest living learning program in the honors college. I don't know by how much, but at least several times the size of honors humanities. So with that being said, there is just so many interests and so many other things, which is definitely great if you're interested in that exploration. But I was looking for something a little bit more focused in a department or in a study. So then that brought me to Honors Global Communities, and I realized a lot of the classes there would be intersecting with my major, and I wanted to do something a little bit more outside. I was a behavioral college and public policy school, like double major. So being in honors humanities allowed me to have like connections with the College of Arts and Humanities and things like that. So it kind of offered in like that third, more like widening your scope, like Dr. O talked about in the beginning.
When I was researching schools that I was interested in, I was dead set on going to a tiny school, but I feel that being in the honors college allows you to take advantage of the resources that a smaller school might offer, but then being part of a larger university as a whole allows you to access either the social opportunities or the research opportunities. But I do think that the small community that the honors college provides definitely did not, at least make me miss out on opportunities. I feel like it only added.
Yeah, also you have in the honors college, you have like your professors and stuff who are, obviously there to like support you and help you. So they'll, give you these things to look out for and, different opportunities and stuff. It's definitely like I don't think I missed out. I definitely feel like I've gained more opportunities and stuff being in the like honors college. So yeah.
You know, it's a crazy thing, this life. And one of the things about this life is, of course, whenever you say yes to something, means you're saying no to other things. And that can be difficult, right? But that's a lot of what living is thinking through what your values are, what you want. And at the end of the day, do you gain more than you lose through an experience? Obviously, for each of you on this call as incoming students, it's a really personal question, where you're going to go to college, what honors program you're going to do if you do one. But I hope that the things that these honors students have shared really gives you some sense of the tremendous amount that is to be gained being a part of the Honors College and being a part of Honors Humanities. I will say, I like to think of us in a way as the best little secret on campus. You know, we're a small program and we're like a small pond in a very big ocean on campus. But we really create a memorable, meaningful learning experience for students. Again, whatever your major, engineering, psychology, education, law, business, there are things you will get out of this program. And I think you'll really enjoy the community that you meet, the place you get to live, the kinds of skills and knowledge it creates for you. And looking back on college 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, the experience in Honors Humanities, if you join us, will be a really rich run for you. I really appreciate all of our honors ambassadors coming, taking time out of their busy spring schedule to be here. Thanks so much, gang. And also to Jenny and Chantel, thank you for all you do in admissions to make this work. And grateful to all of you newly admitted students. Really excited to get to know you. As I said, you can reach out to me at my email, rjo@umd.edu, if you have questions. Follow us on Instagram to get some sense of kinds of things that are going on. And I guess I'll close by saying, go Terps.